Hello and welcome to my channel On the Hook Crochet, where we talk about wearable crochet style. And let's find out what's on the hook today. I hope that you're having a wonderful week and looking forward to the weekend coming up. I hear that we're going to get some cold weather so we can wear all of our wool clothes that we've been crocheting, our sweaters and scarves. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. And that helps other people find me. So thank you for that. Thank you for joining me today. First of all, today we want to open up our KnitCrate subscription box and see what's inside. I want to keep you up to date on a project that I'm working on, one that I created. And we'll also do our giveaway today. So stay tuned for that. If you have a crochet project, grab it and crochet along with me while we chat. First of all, let's open our KnitCrate. There are some things I want to tell you about KnitCrate for this month. So first of all, I opened it up and this is what was inside. There are two yarns in here. They're coordinating, which I don't remember ever getting one like this, but maybe in the long past they sent one out like this. I wasn't a member when they did it, but this is a coordinated 2 hanks of yarn. This is the Naturals selection. I am signed up for the Naturals. There are 2 other colorway choices that you can sign up for. I just leave the Naturals up there because I feel like that's probably the easiest and best bet for me, because I don't like real loud pinks and purples. So I just opt for the Naturals. This is one that I've already caked this up. This one is called Concrete Jungle, and to me those are 70s colors. They're beige on orange and yellow. Those remind me of 1970 if y'all are old enough to remember it, and some of you may not be, some of you may be, but those look like the colors of an old kitchen that I used to have, and I'm not thrilled with it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'll probably make it up into something, but for me, that's not a good color combination, but it's just because I'm older and I remember some of the old colors that were popular back in the 70s. This is a real pretty multicolor beige, just very subtle color differences on this. They're both superwash merino wool 100%. This one is called Bushwick, B-U-S-H-W-I-C-K. That's the color of this particular yarn. These are both worsted weight yarns, and they're intended to be crocheted or knitted together. And so let me show you what was in the box. First of all, one thing that was in the box was this, and I don't even know what this is. If anybody knows what it is, let me know. I mean, it's not a Christmas ornament. I don't know what you do with it. It's really about the size that you put on an end of a finger. I do not know what this is. Somebody tell me what this is in the comments. Okay, here's a close-up of it. It's knitted, obviously, with the little pom-pom on the top, and it's just a little hat. I don't know what that is. I don't recall seeing it in any of the KnitCrate YouTubes. That sometimes they'll say what's in the box, but I didn't see anything about that. This is the book, the inspirations book that came with these 2 yarns, and this is for January, of course. The crocheted pattern for that is the inbound cowl. It's a little bit fancy in the crochet instructions. It's made with an eye hook, and it says a beginner's level, and what they do is they change colors in the middle of a row, things like that, which are certainly doable for a beginner, so don't be intimidated by that. I might or might not be making this. I don't know. I'm not in love with the yarn, so it may sit around for a while and then I'll do something with it. The other pattern for crochet is a pair of socks, and that is right here. Those are crocheted socks. I probably won't be making those, but you know, it's an interesting make if you're just looking for something to crochet. And I have a lot of whips in progress, works in progress right now, so I don't have time to start anything else. I may make the cowl. I just don't know. I may make it. I might do something with this. I really like that. It's very, very neutral. Very similar to another color they sent out not too long ago. I probably would have been a little happier with one of the other colors. The other colors were a blue kind of a blue, two different types of blue there. And these are the ones that I received. This is the third color. It's called Citrine. It's Safari Sunset and Golden Lion. And those were the Energize Me colorways. And that is a little bright for me. I just don't think I would want to make something maybe for spring in that, but not out of a worsted wool. So not every month is the most wonderful month, but there again, I ordered it and I like it. I like to get it every month, and I like to show it to you because if you decide you might want to sign up for the KnitCrate, you can see exactly what comes in the box every month because I show it to you. I don't give it away every month, but I have done that a few times. Now, what I'm wearing, I promised to wear this. This is the other scarf I made by the Fire and Ice shawl pattern by Underground Crafter. And I really love it. It is so soft. And this is actually some yarn that I received from KnitCrate. It's done with the chain spin. It's not, or it's actually wound in the chain fashion. We received that last month as well in another yarn that we received. But this is such a beautiful color. It's called Tiger Lily. And I was so excited to get this. I have this much left. I have quite a bit left, but not enough to really make a cowl from. I don't know. That might make a hat or something. I don't know. But I like to look at it. I set it over there with my leftovers, and it's really pretty sitting there. So I thought I would wear this today. This is, again, the Fire and Ice shawl, and I'll take it off and show it to you in all its glory. It's quite gorgeous. And it's made just like the green one that I had on Monday. And it's got the rounded corners on the ends. If you can see that, I really love that part of this pattern. I love the trim on the edge. I love the edging there. And the way that the pattern is built, it comes out so easily. And all you have to do is follow some very simple directions. It's not difficult. So that's my Fire and Ice shawl. I love the color. I'm wearing it over a dark green turtleneck, and it seems to look pretty good with that. I usually wear it with black, but today I'm wearing it with a very, very dark green turtleneck, and I like the look. It kind of stands out. It's a beautiful color and almost orangey peach. That's what it reminds me of, kind of an orangey peach. All right, so progress on a sweater that I'm making. I am making, of course, the Highlander sweater out of the green and chartreuse. My chartreuse top actually came, so I'll be wearing that with the sweater when I finish the sweater. However, I have put that on hold until I receive the yarn from eBay. I ran out of yarn, and it's a year old. It was in my craft room, and I found it down there. And so when I brought it up, I didn't check to see if I could get more yarn if I needed it. And I do need some more yarn, not too much. I had to buy several skeins of it. It was packaged together. So I'll probably have way too much left over. That's okay, not a big deal. I'll get over it. I'll just put it in my stash and I'll make something else out of it. And I may give it away. Who knows? You may see it in a giveaway on a Monday sometime. This Highlander yarn that I've been working on for what seems like months. I'm also making the same pattern with the Marble Chunky by James Brett, which I showed this on Monday. Love it. It's very light. It's a lot lighter than the Highlander yarn. And I've done this much on the front on the back of the sweater, or the front. Both are going to look just alike, so it won't matter. I've done this much on the other fabric piece. So that should go pretty quickly. It goes fast. It's really easier to crochet than the Highlander. It's not as heavy. It's very light, and it flows right off the hook. It's I really like this yarn. It's really fun to work with. Now, somebody also asked me this Highlander sweater and this particular sweater here out of the Marble Chunky are made out of a size 5 yarn. They're chunky yarn, chunky. That means that they're size 5. That makes the sweater go very quickly. You don't have to spend a lot of time on it. But it's also very thick. So the reason I use the treble crochet on one of the rows here is to give it a little bit of drape. And on the chunky, it's actually got a lot more drape than the Highlander sweater with the thicker, heavier yarn. So your yarn makes a big difference, especially when you're making a sweater, because there's so much yarn in the garment. I know when we see people who knit, and they knit with, you know, tiny little knitting needles, and it takes a long time to knit these sweaters that you see on YouTube, but they seem much lighter than crochet, because in crochet we use more yarn. It just takes more yarn to create a fabric like this, because it's thicker. If you'll see that, and I know you know this already, but I just think it's interesting that the thickness of the garment is much bigger than the thickness of a garment knitted. And it takes less yarn to knit a fabric than it does a crocheted fabric. So I would love to learn to knit this year. That is sort of one of my goals, to learn to knit and to be able to knit a sweater. It's just a different experience altogether, and I'm excited about it. It's a whole new world, the world of knitting. And those of you who crochet and knit, you can appreciate that. So I don't usually let a lot of grass grow under my feet, so I'm hoping to do something big and new, and that would be it. The knitting would be it. So I've got a friend who knows how to knit very, very well, and I may ask her to show me one more time, because the last time she did, I was a complete failure at it. I couldn't keep my mind on it. I think that was my main problem. I just had too many things going on, and I may still be like that. I don't know. I wanted to show you this too. This is the inspirations book that came with the Tiger Lily yarn. So they had made a scarf out of it, but I chose not to use that pattern to make my scarf from. I really like this pattern better than this one. This one was an advanced, I think it was advanced or an intermediate pattern, and I just felt like I knew this pattern, and so I could whip it up very easily. And sometimes when you get a pattern that you really like, you make it over and over, just like I do baby sweaters. I have several patterns that I make all the time, and when you start one, you know how it's going to look. You know it's going to look great. That's also why I give the advice to always make a pattern more than once. For example, this was, I believe, my second time around with this, and it was so much faster, so much easier, and I knew exactly where I was going with it, and it was exciting. Now, if you make a brand new pattern, sometimes that's exciting to people. But when I'm in a hurry, I like to find a pattern that I've already made and make it up. I know how it's going to look and how it's going to crochet. I know what size hook I need to use. And if I need to make any adjustments to the pattern, I know what they are beforehand, because I've written them on the pattern. I've started doing that in the last 10 years or so, really writing a lot of notes on patterns. Why would I not do that? I think it harkens back to the days in public school where we were not allowed to write in our books. So when we got to college, I was so anxious about writing in my books. But I've gotten better about it, and when I have something of my own, I write all over it, because it's mine, and I can write on it, and it's not a borrowed book like at the public school. Another thing I wanted to show you today was the crochet pattern that Glenda at Creative Grandma was published in this actual magazine that we're giving away today. And I thought, I was in my car the other day, and I grabbed some 24/7 yarn by Lion Brand, mint color, very beautiful, and it's been sitting over in a little basket there, and I grabbed it and I thought, I'm going to make this dishcloth, because my dishcloths are ragged. I need to make some more. I've been thinking about it for 3 or 4 months, and before Christmas, and then I ran out of time, and I thought, I'm just going to make this dishcloth while I'm waiting for my husband. I was taking him somewhere, and I knew I would be waiting, at least 30-45 minutes. So I took my yarn and a size I hook, and I made the dishcloth, and here it is. It's quite beautiful. Look at that. It turned out so pretty. I made it right by the pattern. It was easy to follow, and this is what it turned out to be. Now, in her pattern, she uses 3 different colors. If you'll notice, there's a blue, a green, and a white. And I didn't have all those colors. I just had the one. So this is just as pretty, but if I make it again, I would probably maybe add the white to it or something. It's very pretty the way she combined the colors there. So I thought I would make that up just for fun. It didn't take long, and that way I could show you what it looked like. And this will go right into my kitchen, and I've got to get rid of a couple of very ragged crochet dishcloths. Today we are giving away 2 crochet magazines, and if you watched Monday and you went down and put a comment, I'm sure that you are wondering who's going to win these 2 magazines. They're both wonderful magazines. I suggest that you get a subscription if you want these to come in the mail to you. They're all full of patterns, and there might be 10 or 20 patterns in each magazine that comes. And they're not all going to be pleasing to you, but they will be available to you if you want to go back and look at your magazine. You might have a need to make a dishcloth or something like that. So the magazine will be there, and if you're storing them like I showed you in my 3-ring binders, I'm still working on that project, and I'll bring it back and show it to you when I get done. But I had received some holders to put my magazines in, and I'm going to show you how I do that. Maybe next week I'll be finished with that project, and I can show you what I've done with it. So let's point the camera to the computer and find out who wins our 2 crochet magazines this week. Okay, so here we are with our camera pointed toward the computer. Here is the URL from Monday's video. The keyword was Glenda. So let's find out how many YouTube comments we had with the word Glenda in them. And the number is 566. Thank you so much for everybody that participated. I really appreciate it. All right, let's go over here and find out who wins our first magazine, which is the Crochet Magazine. And that winner is Jen's, J-E-N-Z. And Jen says, like most here, I too have already subscribed and watched Glenda's channel. So Glenda, you have lots of people watching your channel. I guess you already know that. So Jen's, congratulations, you are the winner of the Crochet Magazine. Let's find out who wins Crochet World. So let's start that. And who wins Crochet World is Cheryl Clark. Cheryl Clark, you said, I love watching Glenda. Is there such a thing as too many patterns? I don't think so. I totally agree. Congratulations to Cheryl Clark and to Jen's for winning our 2 crochet magazines this week. Well, congratulations to our 2 winners. If you will please email me your mailing address, I will be glad to get those in the mail to you right away. And I hope you enjoy reading them. They're so much fun. And next month, or whenever the next set comes in, I will be giving those away as well. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I will be back Monday, and on Monday is our 2020 challenge. So I'll be showing you a couple of scarves that I've made for the 2020 challenge and talk about it, what I did with it, what kind of yarn I used, and all that. So join me again on Monday to find out what's on the hook.